Oh, this has been uh, a fun evening. I'm literally recording this as I have finished watching the ECW Unreleased Volume 2 box set, and it was what's the word I'm looking for? It was surprisingly good. I will hold my hand up. If you listen to the hardware, you'll know not a massive ECW guy. I wouldn't go as far as to say I don't enjoy it full stop, but I don't get the just hardcore stuff personally, not really to my tastes. So, you know, but I actually really enjoyed it. The presentation is really cool. It's presented by Tommy Dreamer and Joey Styles, and those two have a good laugh, and they make a good point of not really being in the not taking themselves too seriously really, and having a good laugh with it, and you get to hear some good inside jokes that sort of everyone's going to get, even though they're kind of inside. So yeah, obviously it's an ECW DVD. You know the sort of people that you're going to see on this DVD. You know you're going to see the likes of Tommy Dreamer and Taz and Cactus Jack, Terry Funk, Chris Jericho, Sabu, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, Shane Douglas. But there's also some people on here that maybe some people wouldn't know that they were in ECW. People like the Steiner brothers, who did a little stint in ECW from when they left the WWF, as it was known at the time, and before they rejoined the WCW. So after their run-in, I believe it was in '93. I think it ended in 93, 94 was the run. I think it ended in '94, and there was a little patch while they couldn't do anything, couldn't go to WCW straight away, so they did some work with Paul Heyman in ECW. And that was cool. That was really cool to see, because you get to sort of see the beginnings of Big Papa Pump, I think is the best way to put it, because you really see the attitude of Scott Steiner coming through in the match, where you can see that, as we all know now, he's maybe not the nicest person in the world. But Doink the Clown, another one, Matt Bourne, obviously very sadly passed away about 2 or 3 weeks ago now, but he did a stint in ECW as well, and there's a match from his on the Blu-ray extras, so you'll only get to see that if you do purchase the Blu-ray of the set. But there was a couple of matches for me that really stood out on the set, and those are the ones I want to talk about. The first one being a I Quit match between Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman, and it's set in the middle of the program that sort of made Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman, made Tommy Dreamer as the ECW legend that we all know him as now. But it really is a really cool little match. It's an I Quit match, as I think I said. And it's I think it's just after when the Sandman comes back, and you find out that the blinding him was just a ruse and stuff like that. Another one is it's called an Extreme Hardcore Shoot Fight. It was on ECW just as I think the UFC was sort of kicking off, and with before Dana and the Fertitas took over, but when the UFC was first sort of coming onto pay-per-view. It's a bit raw to look at, but it is if you take it for being what it is, and it's pro wrestling, it's actually quite a cool little segment. There's a really good match, actually, one I wasn't going to mention, but as I'm looking at the match listing here, with some Japanese guys, Dick Togo, Terry Boy, and Taka Michinoku versus Gran Hamada, Gran Naoya, and Gran Sasuke, which if you're interested in Japanese wrestling, which I am, it's very cool to watch, and it's fun to see them mix the Japanese style with a somewhat American style to make sure that the crowd stays into it. The second match that I really enjoyed was a three-way dance for the ECW Tag Team Championships. Now, you have to remember, triple threat matches in ECW aren't the same as the conventional triple threat matches that you're used to seeing in the WWE. Triple threat matches in ECW were always elimination, so you had to have 2 falls to finish the match. So it was the Eliminators, who were John Cronus and Perry Saturn. Pardon me. The Gangsters, New Jack and Mustafa, versus Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon, Bully Ray as he's known now in TNA. But again, a really, really great match. And it's three of the better tag teams that were in ECW, if you sort of add that to the Public Enemy. Sort of, you're looking at the 4 mainstay tag teams. You know, you can add the Pitbulls and stuff like that, but the 4 ones, the 4 big ones for me personally, when I think of ECW, are the Eliminators, the Gangsters, the Dudleys, and Public Enemy. And the last match, which I didn't, when it was sort of coming on, I thought to myself, this is going to be a little weird. This isn't going to be very good. But it's the very last match on this set. It's a 3-way dance for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship, as I say, elimination rules. Just Incredible, Jerry Lynn, and Steve Corino. Obviously, Steve Corino sort of relevant at the moment due to his run in ROH with the Scum faction. Just Incredible and Jerry Lynn, who's just retired. It was like the best thing I can put it to is, it's, you know, a lot of people when they talk about triple threat matches, they talk about Jericho, Mr. Black, and Kurt Angle from WrestleMania 2000, the one shining light of that pay-per-view. Then they talk about obviously Unbreakable in TNA, Joe, Daniels, and AJ. And, you know, there's a few more you can throw out there, but this for me doesn't go in that top shelf with those great 3-way matches, but it definitely gets on the shelf below that. It really is a fun little match, and there's enough stuff going on in the match that makes you really want to pay attention to the whole thing. There's enough sort of influences on the outside with front scene being out there, and you know, it really is fun. But as I say, there's loads of, I mean, Tajiri and Mike. I'm just looking at this list of matches in front of me and seeing some names here: Tajiri, Mike Awesome, Bam Bam Bigelow, Chris Candido, Lance Storm, Sabu, RVD. You know, there's so many names that that maybe you haven't seen in so long. And as I say, I think for a historian like me, it's always fun for these trips down memory lane, and it's different. And a lot of people are asking for something different in this day and age. You know, a lot of people are saying they're bored with, you know, you see it all the time. I definitely see it when people, you know, tweet me, email me, comment on Hardway posts or anything like that. You know, any forums I go into, any Facebook posts I see, you see people talking about how they're bored of, you know, a lot of people saying they're bored of what WWE and TNA and ROH put out there. So this is something different. ECW always was the alternative. That was what it was. That was what it was billed as. That was what it was built as, and that was what it was supposed to be. And it still is in this day and age the alternative to traditional pro wrestling. And it never wanted to be traditional pro wrestling. There were definitely people in there that allowed you to watch traditional pro wrestling, but it was never supposed to be, you know, the NWA with all its history and heritage, or the WWF with all its history and business and clout and money and, you know, pyrotechnics and stuff like that. So as always, I mark these things out of 5. For a compilation, this is an easy 4. I enjoyed this about 10 times as much as I thought I was going to do. This is one of those DVDs I sat down and I thought this might take me a while to get through, but I can honestly say I've cleared this in a day. I sat down this morning. I had a free day. I sat down this morning, I put the DVD on, I was sort of started watching it while doing other things, and progressively the DVD caught my attention more and more and more as it went on, to the point where, as I've just finished it now, I have been watching the second disc and the Blu-ray extras, doing nothing but watching this DVD set. I would give it 2 thumbs up, as I say, 4 stars easily. You can, of course, as always, order this DVD from www.dvd.co.uk. The DVD price, I believe, is $24.99. The Blu-ray price is $29.99. That's what I've got on the press release. I can't confirm that. I haven't got the prices up in front of me. Thank you to www.dvd.co.uk for allowing us to continue to review these products. Thank you to Fetch, the publicity who sends me these DVDs to review. I continue to enjoy watching them, and I continue to enjoy giving you guys my opinions on them. As always, you can contact me through my Facebook, through my Twitter. Those links are readily available on Headlocks. As we edge closer to SummerSlam, we are about 2 weeks away as I record this. There is a very strong possibility that the Hard Way will return with a pre-show. So maybe keep your eyes open on the usual places for that. But until then, hopefully, I have, as always, been the one and only Tag Team Champions of the SNS Radio Network and the official DVD reviewer of Headlocks to Headlines.com, and I hope I find you all well, and I will see you all soon.